is not enough. If somebody in your family needs emergency help, you've been taught to call 911.
But from the time you call until the time help arrives, every second counts. Health Team 8's Kristen Cusado shows us what to do while waiting for 911.
Repeating emergency 1, responding to number 127 Downing Street.
Sometimes it's unpredictable what you're going to encounter. Anything that can save a couple of seconds can mean the difference between life and death for that individual.
It's one of the worst feelings in the world, watching someone you care about suffer and knowing there is nothing you can do about it, except call for help.
911 emergency.
There are 3 dispatchers on at all times in the City of New Haven's 911 center. They take calls for medical, fire, and police emergencies. This is an extremely stressful job. The operators are the link between the crisis and the resolution.
Okay, if no one's hurt, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect you with the police. Hold on one second, please.
The hardest to deal with are the people who are so excitable that they can't give you any information. You can't verify the address that they are at. You can't verify exactly what the emergency is.
He's Filipino and he doesn't speak English.
That's why it's important to be as clear and calm as possible when you call 911. If you live in an apartment complex or building, make sure you give them the floor and apartment number to help the emergency workers get to you.
Dispatchers say people need to realize the function of 911. Don't call 911 if your car has been stolen or towed. Don't call 911 if a relative of yours has been placed in jail and you want to know how to get them out. Don't call 911 if your power is out. Those are not emergency situations. If you have a fire or if you have a medical emergency, then pick up the phone and dial 911.
99 Engine 8.
When something else is ringing, that could be, a fire or a heart attack or, maybe somebody dead or in the process of, dying. We have people who, have routine matters and they get mad because we tell them dial the routine number.
Is it in your stomach?
Yes.
You're really hot. All right, I'm gonna call someone, all right?
So what are some things you should do if you have to call 911 in a medical emergency? First, don't panic.
Hi.
Answer all the operators'
I have a medical
questions.
emergency.
And then get ready for the paramedics to arrive.
Jay, you gotta help me.
What's up?
Matt's sick.
Sometimes a person will call 911 and forget to go downstairs and open the door first. So we're outside banging on the door and no one responds.
Clear a path. Make it easy for the emergency workers to get to the person in need. That includes getting pets out of the way. Put your dog in a closed room. Turn on any outside lights. And if possible, send someone, maybe a neighbor, outside to wait for the ambulance.
I'm going in backwards.
And when they arrive, the best way to help is to stay out of their way.
Sometimes they're like, hurry up, they need help, or they'll try to take control of the situation.
There are some things you can do today to prepare for an emergency in the future. Post a list of the people who live in the house, their ages, if they're allergic to anything. Add details if they have a medical condition.
Want to keep, her doctor's name if they have a specific hospital that they prefer to go to in case they're unconscious and they can't tell you. The medical history, any medications they might have or take.
EMS workers say the general public has an obligation to the 911 system. The system can't work on its own.
Go take a CPR course. So if it is a loved one that's in your family, that you know how to maintain their airway, you know how to give them correct CPR.
You play a key role. Ultimately, you are the first responder. So it's critical that you know how to handle yourself in an emergency.
The reward is saving that person from dying. So it gives you a sense of accomplishment to be able to really help and sort of make a difference.
New Haven's 911 equipment is more than 20 years old, but the state is in the process of upgrading the 911 systems in several cities, thanks to that extra charge you've been paying on your phone bill. New Haven's 911 computerized system should be up and running in early 1998. For Health Team 8, I'm Kristen Cusado.